Call this meeting to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, are you going to call roll? Okay, can we please have a roll call?
Council President McIrvin.
Here.
Councilmember Prince.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Member Vaughn.
Here.
Councilmember Albertson.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Here.
All present, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. We're going to start off tonight with a proclamation. It's Hispanic Latino Heritage Month.
Okay, I will go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas Hispanic and Latino Americans represent a significant and fast-growing demographic in Renton, making up more than 15% of all residents, and whereas we acknowledge the innumerable contributions made by Latinos in exploring and establishing settlements in the state of Washington dating back to the 1700s, in addition to the contributions of those who identify as Latino, Hispanic, and Mexican and have made their homes in the city of Renton. And whereas President Lyndon B. Johnson's administration initiated observation of Hispanic Heritage Week in 1968, and 20 years later it became federal law in 1988, designating the month from September 15th through October 15th to be nationally recognized as Hispanic Heritage Month. And whereas the state senator Margarita Lopez, who fought for women's health, migrant workers' rights, LGBTQ issues, and veteran tribal affairs, was the first Latina elected into Washington legislature, followed by 5 terms in the state Senate. And whereas in 2014, Ruth Perez became the first Latina and immigrant to serve as council member in Renton, and in 2021, Carmen Rivera was elected as the second Latina to serve on Renton City Council. And whereas the absent sons, Cuautla, Jalisco, Mexico, immigrated to Renton and opened up many Mexican restaurants in the greater Renton area, providing jobs, supporting growth, and enhancing the economy of Renton. And whereas in Cuautla, population of Renton, over 2,000 former residents of Cuautla who reside in and call Renton their home, is larger than the city of Cuautla's population. And whereas in August 2001, the city of Renton established a sister city relationship with Cuautla, Jalisco, Mexico, forming a bond between the two cities, which resulted in delegations from both cities visiting each other, most recently in June of this year. Now, therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2022 to be Hispanic Latino Heritage Month in the city of Renton, and I encourage all members of the community to join me in this special observation. In witness whereof, and I have hereunto set on my hand and caused the seal of the city of Renton to be affixed on this 3rd day of October, 2022. Signed, Armando Pavoni, Mayor, City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read. Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Rivera, that the proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. And tonight we have 2 people here to accept this proclamation, Camila Legao and Ted Rodriguez. Are we going to photo bomb? Photo op first. Ed can hold the video.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
He's trustworthy.
No, I think it's for.
Councilmember Howard, can you go to that side, please?
Yes, sir.
It must be hard to be that petty.
I decide key.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Night, everybody. Thank you so much for this proclamation. I'm really proud to live in the city of Renton. When I moved here 20 years ago or so, I didn't know that Renton existed, and I couldn't find any services around in my area. So now that I am a Renton citizen, I am also an advocate for the Latino community, and that's a sign that I have for everybody. This is a very inclusive city, and I really like it.
Ted Rodriguez, and I'd like to thank for this proclamation in the name of the Latino and Hispanic community, especially from the Cuautla people, Renton sister cities, so sister city of Renton. So I like to, on the name of all the my Mexican fellows from Cuautla and from Jalisco state. So I'd like to say thank you, and I'm so happy that these things are happening and allowed to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. Well, thank you very much. And I'm sure everybody at home knows Ted Rodriguez, the owner of Toreros. And we're proud that Toreros and Ted Rodriguez was the epicenter for most of the Mexican restaurants in the Puget Sound region. So, all right, next up, it's time to get to business. We have a public hearing, and the presenter is Heather Gregerson, and it's about the 2023-2028 six-year TIP Transportation Improvement Program. Heather.
Good evening, Mayor, Council President, and City Council. My name is Heather Gregerson, and I am the Transportation Program Development Coordinator in Public Works. I am here to present the annual update for the Transportation Improvement Program. Jim Seitz, the Transportation Systems Director, is also here to assist with any questions as needed. It looks like my presentation. There we go. The Transportation Improvement Program, or also commonly referred to as the TIP, is a planning document that identifies transportation projects and programs that help implement the city's priorities. One of the most important purposes of the TIP is that local projects must be included in order to be eligible for state and federal grant programs. The annual update of the TIP is how the Transportation System Division plans to meet the needs of the city and adjust to changing conditions, while staying in alignment to city priorities. Changes to this year's document include an updated prioritization that incorporates the comments we received during the Committee of the Whole presentation. Updated grants funding was updated, as well as project information and the addition of several candidate projects and the removal of completed projects. Working on the TIP is a continuous process throughout the year, as projects progress forward and the city receives new funding. Tonight's adoption of the TIP essentially signals the start of next year's update. This slide specifically shows the updates that we made after we received comments at the Committee of the Whole presentation in August. Those updates included adding the East Rail Corridor South project. We also redid the prioritization to highlight safety needs and incorporate the to highlight the importance of the 116th Avenue Improvements Project, the Carr Road Improvements Project, and the inclusion of the East Trail. Each program or project is assigned a category type to help with organization and funding. Those categories include maintenance and preservation, which are projects that replace, preserve, or maintain transportation assets. Operations and safety, projects that help with the safety and efficiency of traffic operations. non-motorized, which are projects that address pedestrian, bicycle, and transit networks, roadway corridor, which are projects that encompass multiple categories that typically result in large capital projects. Other programs and planning are projects and programs that involve regulatory compliance and other policy directives. Project aspects highlight that there are common threads across all items in the TIP. Each project or program page notes one or more of these goals that are behind the project descriptions. The following factors were incorporated to create the priority framework. The priority framework is used to create the prioritized TIP list, where each project is carefully reviewed and scored against each of these criteria. Criteria bands include safety, plan implementation, system integrity, financial, directives, and mitigative. This here is a map of the 2023-2028 TIP projects. The pie chart to the right shows how the TIP projects are divided amongst the neighborhood planning areas. The purple pie piece, 28%, are programs that are citywide or projects that are within multiple neighborhood areas. Funding status can change very quickly from year to year. For example, if funding is made available by a new grant or when a major design milestone is reached. Candidates are projects that have no determined funding at this time, or projects that are regionally significant but will be led by others. Some candidates are ones that the city is currently looking for grant opportunities to apply for. In the TIP priority ranking, funded or partially funded projects are generally at the top, and candidate projects are generally at the bottom. The TIP identifies secured or reasonably expected revenues and expenditures for each of the projects included in the TIP to aid in future budget discussions. This graph breaks down the sources of funding for each year represented in this year's TIP, years 2023 through 2028. This is graphical in nature and does not show potential schedule adjustments or accelerated funding from grant awards. The annual TIP development is one step in updating and maintaining the transportation capital budget. Actual revenues and expenditures are reviewed and adjusted through each budget adjustment. The dark pink bars in this graph are grant funds the city has been awarded. Grant processes are competitive and are not guaranteed revenues. This graph only reflects grants that have been awarded to the city and does not reflect grants that we have submitted and not received a notification for, or grants we intend to apply for. Transportation staff competed and received grant funding for 3 projects this past year, including the Oakdale Avenue Southwest Preservation Project, the Sunset Trail, which is Phase 1 of the Northeast Sunset Boulevard Corridor Improvements Project, and the Rainier Avenue South Corridor Improvements Phase 4. The city also received funding in the state capital budget for the Northeast 44th Street I-405 Park and Ride and the East Trail. Those projects are being led by Public Works and Community and Economic Development and the Parks Department. Transportation continues to be very busy with projects lined up for construction and design. For more detail on each of those projects, please see the individual project pages within the TIP. We thought a fun way to end the presentation was to show some completed projects so we can visualize what all of the information in the TIP turns into. So these pictures here shows the Hauser Way intersection and pedestrian improvements project. This is our Wells and Williams Avenue South downtown conversion project. Lake Washington Loop Trail Phase 3. And our Renton Elementary and Middle School Crossings project. Staff recommends to approve the annual updates to the 2023-2028 Transportation Improvement Program and also present the resolution for reading and adoption, which I believe is on the agenda later under legislation. Are there any questions?
All right, do we have anybody signed up? Anybody else in the audience that would like to speak to the TIP? I don't see any. Do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, what is the wish of the council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I believe there was one person signed up online.
Oh. Do I have her? magic voice in the background.
Good evening. That person is not in attendance today.
Okay, thank you. What is the wish of the council?
Mrs. Rare,
Yes, Council President McGurven.
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilmember Prince, that we close the public hearing. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, next up is the administrative report.
All right, good evening, everyone. The next pop-up lunch event will be held Tuesday, October 4th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. at Sunset Park, 2680 Sunset Lane Northeast. Ready-to-eat lunch and drinks from Amazon Fresh, personal hygiene kits, cleaning supplies, and socks will be available to those with food insecurities and/or are unsheltered. This event is sponsored by the Equity Housing and Human Services Department and the Emergency Feeding Program. Come celebrate National Coffee with a Cop Day on Wednesday, October 5th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Renton Chamber of Commerce, 625 South 4th Street. There will be representatives from the Renton Police Department at the event to answer any questions you have related to crime prevention, traffic enforcement, investigations, recruitment, or community programs and services that are available to the community of Renton. Construction of the new outdoor exercise area at the Don Person Senior Activity Center is scheduled to start October 5th and will be completed in November. The improvements to the former bocce court area will include new exercise equipment, a ping pong table, poured-in-place rubberized surfacing, benches, a cornhole court with new boards, and new landscaping to open the view towards the Cedar River. The center will remain open during construction with isolated closures at the rear east parking lot. Voice of the Planet, in partnership with the Renton Chamber of Commerce, will be hosting a Diwali Festival of Lights art exhibit and bazaar Saturday, October 15th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Chamber Office, 625 South 4th Street. Enjoy music, food, community, art, and shopping. South King County Valley Police Agencies Renton, Auburn, Des Moines, Federal Way, Kent, Tukwila, and Port of Seattle are hosting their first Diversity in Law Enforcement Career Workshop on Saturday, November 5th, 8:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. This free workshop aims to address the real and perceived barriers of those seeking a career in law enforcement and provide strategies to navigate the hiring process successfully. The agencies are committed to recruiting participants who reflect the diversity of South King County, such as people who identify as Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQIA+, women, bilingual individuals, and those with no prior law enforcement experience. Please register at rentonwa.gov/Valley Police Careers. Registration is required and you must be at least 18 years old to attend. Confirmation email with the workshop location will be sent to registrants. Questions should be directed to valleypolicecareers@rentonwa.gov. Housing Repair Assistance Program brochures are now available in English, Spanish, Chinese, Russian, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. You can find the brochures and application online at www.rentonwa.gov/HRAP. You may also request to have the brochure mailed to you by calling 425-430-6650 or emailing humanservices@rentonwa.gov. Please indicate which language you would like to receive. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, road closures, and I-405 work happening this week can be found at rentonwa.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, and unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open.
Right, thank you. Next, we have audience comment. We do have a couple of people signed up. When your name is called, please approach the podium, and, give us your full name, city of residence, and the topic you'd like to discuss. You'll have 3 minutes. And actually, Duke Tron is signed up, but I believe he is not here, and I don't think he was intending to sign up to speak. Okay, next up is Diane Dobson.
Good evening, Council and Administration. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and in respect to the same, the Renton Chamber of Commerce has put on a series of I'm Diane Dobson with the Renton Chamber of Commerce. We have put together a series of 4 free workshops for the community, and I felt it important to bring to your attention so you could share with your constituents as well. On October 4th, starting tomorrow, we'll have Katya Wojcik from Project Be Free and Sergeant Awai from the Renton Police Department on building domestic violence awareness in our community. including trends that we're seeing within the city and how law enforcement and organizations within our city can help if needed. This includes information on the Luna Project. The Luna Project is a way for community members or small business owners to become an ally to individuals experiencing domestic violence in our community and who might be visiting a business. Next week, October 11th, is Damsel in Defense with Jamie Kai. The following week is October 18th, Situational Awareness with Well-Armed Women of American Responsible Firearm Ownership with Pinto's Gun Shop. And October 25th is Self-Defense Discovery with Marcy Wombold. Domestic violence takes many different forms within our community, and I appreciate the council's commitment to being allies to the same, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. So next up is the consent agenda. We have 3 items. Are there any that council would like pulled for separate consideration and discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President McGurven.
seeing none, I move approval of the consent agenda as published.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilmember Prince, that the consent agenda be approved as published. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Next is unfinished business. Council President McGurven,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Prince,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Perez,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Transportation Aviation Committee has one committee report.
Yes, the Transportation Aviation Committee report, the 2023 through 2028 6-year Transportation Improvement Program. The Transportation and Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to approve the annual updates to the 2023-2028 6-year Transportation Improvement Plan. The committee further recommends that the resolution regarding this matter be presented for reading and adoption. Signed, the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Van.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Aviation committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Councilmember Van, second by Councilmember Prince, that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, Councilmember Albertson,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor. You have to-
Councilmember Rivera,
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Community Services Committee has one committee report.
The Community Services Committee report, appointments to the Senior Citizen Advisory Board. The Community Service Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to confirm the following appointments made by Mayor Pavoni, all terms expiring December 31st, 2022. Position 2, Miss Elaine C. Davis. Position 3, Miss Catherine Cook. Position 5, Miss Shiona Cochran. Position 8, Miss Faye Williams. Position 15, Miss Bridget Caballon. Signed, the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Rivera.
I adopt we pass the committee report as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Rivera, second by Councilmember Halloran, that the Community Services Committee report be adopted as read. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, tonight we've got legislation. We have 1 resolution and 2 ordinance for first reading.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I know what I did. I missed Councilmember O'Halloran. Councilmember O'Halloran, any unfinished business?
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Apologize. That happens every once in a while. All right, so now we're on to legislation. We still have 1 resolution and 2 ordinance for first reading.
The first resolution, a resolution with the City of Renton, Washington, updating the extending Renton's 6-year Transportation Improvement Program for 2023 through 2028.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Van.
I move that the council, I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Van, second by Councilmember Prince, that the resolution be adopted as read. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, the next 2 ordinances are for their first reading. The first ordinance is for docket 214, the battery energy storage system. An ordinance for the city of Renton, Washington, amending subsection 42060.0 of the Renton Municipal Code, adding a definition of battery energy storage system facility to section 411020 to the Renton Municipal Code, lifting the moratorium established by the ordinance number 6061, authorizing corrections, providing severability, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Prince.
I move the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Prince, seconded by Councilmember Alverson, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Right, the second ordinance is for docket 218 for rezones. An ordinance of the city of Renton, Washington, changing the zoning classification of several parcels within the city of Renton from industrial medium, IM, to commercial arterial, CA, and one parcel from IM to commercial office, CO, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Prince.
move the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Been moved by Councilmember Prince, seconded by Councilmember Alverson, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, we are on to new business. Council President McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to announce the Committee of the Whole will be meeting at 4 p.m. on Monday, October 10th. Here in chambers and via video conference. There's one item on the agenda, and it's budget, probably for the next couple of weeks. So the 2023-2024 biennial budget is the one agenda item. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, since Council President McGurven says that we're doing budget, the Planning and Development Committee meeting that was scheduled for October 10th has been canceled.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Albertson.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
O'Halloran.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On October 10th, Monday at 3:15 p.m. in the council conference room, the Finance Committee will be meeting. We have 3 items on the agenda. We have 2022 year-end budget amendment, vouchers, and finally, emerging issues in finance. And that's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Well, before we wrap up here, I want to tell Jillian she did a great job. Thank you for this is her first day as a city clerk. One of these days, Jason will actually get a Monday night off. Yeah. What's the wish of the council?
Mayor, in my haste to announce the budget meeting for the Committee of the Whole, I feel I forgot to announce the council meeting, I realized. So I should probably say we also are going to have a council meeting afterwards next Monday at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
Wow, nice catch. All righty.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Prince.
move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Prince, second by Councilmember Albertson, that we adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.